We're finally getting our first look at the upcoming GPD WIn 5 thanks to somebody over on Billy who goes by Pure DIY. I guess they were at China Joy and got their hands on a prototype, or at least got the company to show off what they've got now. Overall, the design does look really good, and if you're not familiar with this, basically what GPD is doing here is adding the Strix Halo AMD Ryzen Ai Max Plus 395 to a handheld. They're also going to be producing a Max 385 version, but the one that I'm most excited about has that 40 CU iGPU known as the 8060S. If you're familiar with Strix Halo, we've got a really good performing chip, but it does like a lot of wattage. And with the WIn 5, you can see, it's a smaller device, but this isn't the whole story because it's actually got a detachable battery. Right now, what you're seeing on screen is actually running off of wall power. The battery is not attached to the back of it, but we've got a good look at that also. Plus, there was some gameplay and some benchmarks run on this device at China Joy. First things first, taking a look at the cooling system, it's got a dual fan system, and as you can see from the top here, it's got a pretty beefy heat sink. There's not much room in here for a battery, and that's why they had to go with an external unit. Moving around to the back, you can see those two fans. We've also got a couple programmable macro keys, trigger lock, so we can go to that hair trigger, and the external battery connection system. Speaking of the battery, it's an 80 watt hour unit, and this handheld is going to be coming with a 180 watt power supply. So to charge this up, you'll need to use that power supply. It's got a spring-loaded locking system on it, so it'll easily attach to the back of the WIn 5. And from what they've shown off, it looks like it's easy enough to connect to the rear of the unit, but obviously it's going to add some weight to the back of the thing, and it's just going to make it a bit thicker. Personally, I do like the concept of a detachable battery for something like this, and if they sold extra batteries, it'd be easy enough to have one charging up on the side and just kind of swap it out on the fly. They also showed off a little bit of a comparison between the new 2025 WIn Mini versus this, and with the battery attached, it's not that much thicker. There's a docking system that I heard rumor comes with the unit. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not, but we've got HDMI, 3 USB ports, and Ethernet. Plus, it looks like you're going to be able to charge the external battery separately, so you can just kind of place it right there on the dock, and then plug the unit in over USB Type-C on the bottom, so you can still use the unit while that other battery is charging. And keep in mind, the Max Plus 395 was never intended to be a low wattage chip. Now it's true that, you can lower the wattage on it and get some pretty decent performance. I did some testing on a unit that I have, which is not the WIn 5, but it's the same exact chip. Cyberpunk 2077, medium settings, 1080p, 25 watt TDP. We're getting over 60 FPS, and this is without frame gen. If you added frame gen or take that resolution down, it's just going to jump way up. And a game like Forza Horizon 5, which is easier to run at medium 1080 15 watts, we're seeing averages over 90 FPS with it. But GPD hasn't showed off any low TDP gaming. They have showed off some games running anywhere from 45 watts up to 70 watts, and we also saw at least one time spy benchmark out of this. If you take a close look here, you can see this is running anywhere from 55 up to 57 watts. 80 FPS on average with Black Myth Wukong, and I'm not exactly sure which settings they're using. To my eye, it doesn't look like it's using frame gen, and for the Max Plus at this kind of wattage, if you're running at 1080p, medium settings should net us this kind of performance out of this game here. But running games at 55 watts on this device with an 80 watt hour battery, not taking in account anything else going on with the system, it's probably pulling around 63 to 67 watts in total at a 55 watt TDP with the fan spinning up. You're still looking at anywhere from an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes of gameplay out of this thing at those high TDPs. And if we've got a swappable battery, again, if they sell extra batteries, you could plug the unit in to keep it going, swap the battery out, then unplug it, and you can still play without shutting the system down. Final thing I wanted to talk about here was the time spy benchmark that they ran. So it's at a 70 watt TDP, and we know what this chip can do in different devices. It will do up to 120 watts, and it'll still gain up to 120 watts, albeit not as much as going from, let's say, 35 to 65, but you can still get a bit out of it. At a 70 watt TDP, the WIn 5 scored a 9,688. GPU up there at 9,680, CPU at 9,739. And this is amazing for an iGPU. Even at a 70 watt TDP. So again, they scored a 9,688 with time spy. And again, this is at a 70-watt TDP. It's shared between the CPU and iGPU here. To kind of give you an idea, on an RTX 40 laptop that I recently tested, it's got the Ryzen 9 7940HS, and we get a total score of 11,238. Of course, we've got a higher score here, but the big thing to keep in mind here is that RTX 4060 laptop is pulling 90 watts, and that 7940HS can pull up to 80 watts in this unit. So a total of 170 watts to reach this score, as opposed to 70 watts with that Max Plus reaching 9,688. It's super efficient for what we've got here for sure. So yeah, I'm super excited about the Win 5, and I do love the look of it. Of course, we've got that GPD Win look, PSP/Vita. It's got a much larger screen than we've seen before in one of these devices, coming in at 7 inches. It's a 120 hertz VRR display. I do like the idea of having that detachable battery, but I need to get one in my hands and kind of just feel how it is when it's attached. Does seem a bit bulky with it up on there, but to me, having the ability to swap it out is really appealing. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, from what we've seen so far, do you like the overall design? If the price is right, is this something that you'd want to pick up? Is it going to be too bulky with that battery attached to the back? Let me know your thoughts down below, and as soon as we get more information, I will post it up in my community section. But that's it for this one, and like always, thanks for watching.